If you have a pain in the front of your hip, and especially if you feel like clicking every time you raise that hip, but you've already noticed that stretching doesn't do anything for you whatsoever because your hip is already super flexible and super mobile, well then you're in the same exact spot as Carla here, and here is what is likely going on along with what you can do about it. Carla was a lifelong dancer, so when looking at the range of motion of her hip, the only thing we found was that she moves incredibly well and actually moves symmetrically on each side. But the issue for her, as is the issue with a lot of people in this position, is the strength of the hip flexor. She was much weaker in the hip flexor on the left side, which is the side where she had the pain, and when she sits up tall and tries to bring her leg up, she can't do it at all. And what she can lift is also not strong. And that's where the main issue is, because when I lift her leg, she has access to a whole lot of range of motion that she can't use her hip flexor to get to all by herself. And that big gap results in a tight and painful hip flexor. So I started by trying to loosen up the muscles of the hip flexor, starting with the psoas, which I can work on where it starts in the lower back. After that, I also worked on another major hip flexor muscle, your iliacus, which you can get to where it starts on the top of the inside of the pelvis. After working on those muscles, she could lift her leg a little bit higher, but more importantly, it was much more comfortable. So then I had her work on this exercise where she brings her leg all the way up and slowly controls it back down to the table. After 10 repetitions of that, she was then able to hold her leg much higher and even accept some resistance. After that, I added one more hip flexor exercise where you lay on your back and march your leg against resistance. After that, it was much more comfortable to move the hips, showing we were on the right path.